Do it. You can see it in the camera, just how big these banana spiders are. Always got my turn signal on. Hold up, there we go. Man, gotta say, love the way this motorcycle looks. It is a nice, cool 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I am going to be riding out to the Bocachetta WMA. Do another quick ride, just have some fun. Not get in too much trouble. I don't have anybody to help me pick up my bike. But 23 minutes away, just finished a nice breakfast. Should be fun. I've really been enjoying this Leatt helmet. It's the airflow, you know, in this cool weather I'm having has actually been really nice. And the wind noise isn't too bad, and the buffeting really, as long as I can stay in the sweet spot of my windshield, isn't bad either. You know, I've had ADV helmets give me problems with the buffeting on this bike. It's really more the bike's problem. And I forgot to button my helmet, so I gotta stop. My helmet is completely unstrapped. Kind of skipped a step there. Really liking these Rev'it gloves too. They're highly reviewed for a reason. They, the airflow, I can feel it kind of come over to me. Even though it's a gauntlet, it kind of actually gets more wind flow. It directs it more on my wrist while still being quite protected. If I had other people here to call the ambulance if I crashed, definitely be hitting that, but yeah, not today. I don't know what that is. I'll sit down and act like a civilized adult. Got Mr. fishing. Oh, he's on the cabin. He's on the canoe. That's a pretty cool setup, man. It is nice back here. So beautiful. Look, a little pier. Oh, can't get my boot on here. Lift up. There we go. And this Tenere is so tall. I'm 6 foot with boots on. And this Tenere constantly has me. I'm a 32-inch inseam. And this Tenere constantly has me on my tippy toes. That might be the trail that we went down last time, for all I know. I mean, truly. But God, is it over from? Or is it back here? Cross over. Slippery grass. Yeah, this WMA just recently opened up, maybe about 3 months ago. Actually less, maybe closer to a month and a half ago. And really not many people know about it, especially the hunters. It hasn't been hunting season yet, so the hunters really don't know it's back here. So, I mean, it's just me and that guy on the canoe, really. I've only ever seen one other motorcycle out here. And that was last time on the group ride when I brought everybody back here. There was that Ducati Desert X coming the opposite way last time I came out here, but don't really expect to see much. Whoa, whoa, the rocks got kind of gnarly out of the middle of nowhere. Start pulling my front tire. I'll slow down a little bit. It's nice out here. You get certain areas that are this red clay, and as long as there's not rocks, like massive rocks on them, man, this red clay will hook you up. Oh, look at the little bunny rabbit. Yeah, they're definitely making some progress getting a lot of this down. I don't know if that's for trail access or really why they're taking some trees down. Maybe it's just they're taking the stuff away from the road to reduce tree fall in the road. That's no motorized vehicles. Everything to the left right here is private property. Hey, Mr. Bunny Rabbit. There you go. Everything to the left of me is private property. Everything to the right is Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries. So as long as the trail isn't marked, no motorized vehicles, I should be fine. I'm gonna hit a road that I didn't hit last time. There's a little curve off to the right, and I didn't even get to it last time. God, it feels like more and more of these trails are getting marked no motorized vehicles. Those little spots I get where it's just clay and not really a lot of rock on the road, man, they feel so good. The bike really hooks up and I can actually get a lot of, you know, speed just off of those bursts. Hello. Go, man, that felt good. That felt good. Let's see. So last time, man, I want to say that's where I turned to go. Whoa, 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 whoa! Holy God, man, that was sketchy as hell. Woo, woo. Man, I was not looking, and it got really slick really fast, and my front tire just dug in. That was almost a bad little crash for me. Need to pay better attention to what I'm actually doing. Let's see. I always have my blinker on. Apparently the blinker on the Tenere adds 5 horsepower. Love the way this thing does on bumps. Really just absorbs them really well. This suspension's a bit soft. Everybody complains about it, but on technical parts, I don't know if it's the suspension or the suspension design, but it really does so well on just a rough bump. All right, so here's where I would have kept going last time I came back here. So this is the right turn I didn't take. So let's see. Let's play it smart. Let's not go straight down the washout. That washout's gonna, you know, you really don't know how deep that clay washout is. It could be just kind of this thin layer with a lot of good clay underneath, or it's deep and it's really washed out, and good luck getting out of it. You'll just sink right into it, man. I think that's what I must have hit earlier with some clay washout. Never been back here, so I'm not gonna push it. That'd just be reckless. From staring at maps, I think this comes back around to the same lake that is blocked off and gated off earlier. I probably should have kept a little bit on throttle for that. Shouldn't have gone all the way off the throttle. That was a little dumb mistake. But it didn't bite me, so I won't chalk it off as a complete failure. Man, the spider webs. I'm not ducking to get a better, you know, position on my bike like I should. I'm ducking because the spider webs over my head, they're these banana spiders that are just massive. I got one on my goggles last time. God, you can see it in the camera, just how big these banana spiders are. That banana spider's 4 feet away from me, if not, you know, 5. And I mean, it's got to be at least 3 inches big. And they are everywhere in these woods, man. Probably just rolled that log and destroyed this whole web, but they're not supposed to be that bad for you. I don't think they can hurt you, but the idea of having a giant spider on your face doesn't really sit well with me. That's a gate. Doesn't look like that gate's been touched in a while, so this must be an old gate. You know, I try to be very cautious, courteous about, you know, what I'm doing. I don't want to be on somebody else's property. I don't want to give ADV motorcyclists around here a bad name. Trying to build the reputation, so let's not hurt it. Hello! Dude, please don't run under my tire. These rabbits, man, they like aim for me. I mean, I'm having to play dodge rabbits. if I was Adam Riemann, if I was Mr. Motorology, man, I'd be all over it. But I'm not him. I'm not Paul Terrace. I'm a guy who just started riding an ADV bike 9-10 months ago. Man, there's really no way around that one. Wow, that's beautiful. Bunch of cypress knees. Louisiana's home to these bald cypress, and they grow these cypress knees in shallow water like this. That's a true swamp, you know, seasonal flooding. And they're gonna have to build up this road because this is designed for this. WMA was purchased with the idea of appealing bird watchers, and I don't expect many bird watchers. Wow. As soon as I grabbed the brake, it dug into it. Because to me, dark water says not only is the mud very malleable and I'm gonna sink, but also Louisiana has enough creatures that could be in there. I don't feel like touching one. This is where I say nope. Dark water in Louisiana, I don't do it. Hard lesson learned. Apparently I accidentally put my kickstand in the lowest possible part of the road, so. All right, let's get the bike back up. All right. Always watch where you're putting your kickstand. Let's see. Man, this bike. Love my T7. It's way more capable than I am. Which isn't saying a lot because I'm not very capable. Look at all the gnats just playing in the water. Louisiana's disgusting, man. I'm gonna play the same middle line. Oh, nice. Okay, these Forma boots are waterproof. Good to know. All right. Which way did I go? All right. Told myself to fall left. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Ooh, man, I've worked up a sweat. Not because I'm some great adventure rider, but because it's 90 degrees in Louisiana and I'm doing literally anything outside. At 88 Fahrenheit is before you factor in heat index, which if Louisiana is known for one thing, it is humidity. It's just so dark back here. Enjoying my new Leatt helmet, which using this to film right now, but just kind of embracing the beautiful scenery. You've got just this beautiful swamp creek coming through, this amazing dirt road, and some type of animal is speaking to me off in the distance. I think it was a frog. But you can see just the washout from this road. You can see all the little creeks that form throughout the year, depending on what season it is. It's just incredibly beautiful out here. I am by myself, so I'm not really taking it too risky, but having a lot of fun. Well, between filming different clips, I poured water on my helmet, but forgot that my helmet was on my seat, so now seat's wet. Good job. You can see the little gate post they made. Looks really cool. There he goes again. All this is just, it's PVC pipe, the whole thing. It'll be here forever, I guess. That's one positive side of it. I'm actively working with this WMA to get a single track installed for motorcyclists and the occasional bicyclist too. It can also be used as a hiking trail, but need to make sure it has the minimum width requirements to fit a motorcycle, but not so big that it fits a quad. The quads just come through, they're so heavy, they tear everything up, man. Every single trail we get is torn up by quads during hunting season. I completely forgot I was recording. Am I even still recording? I am still recording. I was just kind of screwing off riding, wasn't really thinking about the fact that I'm recording. Just kind of just enjoying this road, not even taking it too fast, just taking in the scenery, man. These adventure bikes, that's what they're made for. They're not made to be winning the class at the car. You know, that's what the actual race bikes are for. These are made to adventure. And that gets lost on a lot of guys. And sometimes I have to remind myself even to slow down. You know, it's nice to have the capability to do crazy things on this bike, but at the end of the day, a lot of us set out just because we want to see things that we didn't see before. That's where I rode up last time to get back to that back trail. Last time I got the spider in my face. So that's kind of soured me on that trail a little bit. I know at the end of this is a gate. Eventually, it's, you know, maybe a few more 100 feet. Never actually been back this far. Oh, nice. Woo. There we go. Lots of sand. This is where everybody jumps. Everybody tells me there's a jump. I guess this is it. Man, trail. But I think that's the private property side. That is a not motorcycle trail. Nice. Save that to my memory. Kind of an uneventful ending. This road continues to, I mean, it is maybe a few hundred feet before you get to the gate of the National Wildlife Park. It's closed. I guess there's a sliver of private property. God, sometimes the T7 bothers me with just how high it is. I do sometimes wish I didn't start on a T7 and I started on something a lot lighter and not as tall. You know, trying to build your confidence on something that will bite you as bad as a T7. Because once you lose it, you're not recovering. The seat height's too high. You're not going to be able to drop quick enough to not ultimately just hurt yourself. And that does play in the back of my mind. I am a dad. I do have a kid to go to. I have a job and a mortgage to pay. So I can't really just come out here and send it. Monster Energy won't send me a check if I get hurt. Alright. The Leatt found its way perfectly between my goggles and my helmet. That little sliver. And this bike does turn though. It's got lots of low end torque. So if I forget to shift down, which I accidentally do a lot, it has a good way to just tractor out of it. Which usually is something you get from a big single. Not really a parallel twin characteristic. Ow. Nice. They've left enough trees to provide a little bit of shade down these roads. Keep it from being too hot. I am excited for it to get a little bit cooler, get towards winter. I don't mind piling some clothes on. That's extra protection, baby. Man, the front end, I'm not impressed with these ADV tires from Moto Z. I don't know if they just weren't designed for gravel, but I do feel more slippage than I like. I am running 25 PSI. No, 27 PSI because I am running on the road. But I would expect if you're making an ADV tire, you know, you're kind of thinking of the fact that these people can't air down to motocross levels because ADV also requires you to ride on the highway. The idea is ride on the highway to get to the trail. I know I didn't go with the gummiest tire. I went with actually one of the harder tires because I daily this bike and don't want to change tires every month, but maybe that's a mistake I made because it seems like this tire isn't digging in as much as I need it to on the front to feel comfortable. Feels like my front goes before my back. And that wasn't the case with my Pirellis. My Pirellis, the rear would always go first. And yeah, that's scary to a newer rider, but within a month of riding, that quickly picked up. I don't mind the rear bouncing around. I need the front to stay upright. So the opposite happening here kind of uneases my nerves. I just lose the front occasionally. I'm gonna have to go with a gummier tire next time I do tires. These might even get early taken off to get put onto the trans out once I wear them down just a little bit more. And then I'll get a gummier tire because it's needed. I don't like this. It's keeping me from riding trails that I want to ride. It's keeping me from riding as often as I would like to ride because I'm scared that my front tire is going to go. These boots are a little bit big for these controls. It can be hard to shift sometimes with my Forma boots.
That's all I've got today, guys. It's realistically way too irresponsible to be riding alone on gnarly trails with a 100-degree heat index today. So I'm gonna cut it short. Always, I love the Tenere. I love my Leatt. It was a fun day. I like to get out of the house. But as always, remember to like, subscribe, and get out and ride.